Hello, it's time to talk about Saturday Morning Adventures Dungeons and Dragons. Now, of course, this is based on the classic 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Um, I loved it as a kid. It's one of those things that I loved it as a kid, and I watched every episode, and I remember enjoying it. But as you grow older, you don't know why. And then I picked it up on DVD and rewatch it, and it's really well done. A lot better than perhaps people remember. There are a lot of great episodes in there that ask a lot of heavy questions. The characters are great. The animation, I'm assuming it was Toei Animation through Marvel Studios, like Marvel Animation, back in those days. They did things like Muppet Babies and all sorts of stuff. And of course, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Transformers, G.I. Joe, all that stuff. But the animation and the storytelling and all that stuff was wonderful. They did incorporate things from Dungeons and Dragons into, like, from the game into the cartoon. That was cool. So, you know what? I know there have been other series of this out there through, I think it's IDW, right? So this is issue one of a new arc. So I was like, you know what? Let me go grab this and start a new arc. The pros of this, I like seeing the characters again. Obviously, they're continuing on from stories I don't know. What else? And you can tell if I'm struggling to come up with good, there's a lot of bad here. At least for me. The other thing too I like about this is that they're incorporating stuff from the games more into the cartoon stuff. So like they do meet Drizzt Do'Urden, and they have Spelljammer and all that stuff in this. It's really cool. So they're incorporating them more and more into the world of the game, Dungeons and Dragons, which is really neat. Beyond that, my problems with this issue, number one, I am lost not knowing what happened before this. They do make some, references to past adventures in these comics. Um, they're in the Forgotten Realms here, so that's why they're able to meet Drizzt. Um, and the art is bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to like slag on people's work, but I'm not even gonna mention the artist's name, but you can look it up easily. It's one thing to be different by having more angles and things and presenting these characters in a new style. But it's another thing to, like, for example, when I'm reading through this, sometimes I'm unclear as to what just happened. Some of the panels, is one panel in particular where when they first meet Drizzt, um, the barbarian is chasing after a monster and falls down a cliff, and then you see a panel with Drizzt falling, doing a falling pose, like oh, and then the monster, and then the barbarian, and I'm like, and then they go forward with the story, and like Drizzt's like, oh, I saved the barbarian. And it's like, wait, what's this? Were you not falling with him? Like, are you throwing a rope as you're doing it? I don't see that in this art. There's a lot of weird, weird phenomena like that in here. Um, where I was like, I don't really know what's happening when there's fights. Like there are some battles, and I'm not clear as to what's happening in these battles. There are some characters in strange battle poses, next to other characters. I don't know who's fighting who. I don't know what position the monster is sometimes to the people fighting it. It's weird. That happens once or twice. Beyond that, and I was like, am I crazy? Because I've read these other comics like Spider-Man 2099 and all that, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm able to follow this. I just don't know what's going on here. So the art is a little crude looking, but also the plotting and cartooning of it I had an issue with. Um, so I don't know if I'm going to continue on with this comic. I was frustrated with this, so I don't know if I'd be frustrated with the rest of it. Uh, but I do like the idea of them traveling around Forgotten Realms, meeting all these characters. I'm assuming Drizzt will come back because he's too major a character to just turn up for 2 pages. Maybe I'm wrong. So that's it for my review of Saturday Morning Adventures Dungeons and Dragons. I would say don't pick it up, but like if you're really curious, maybe waste your money. Um, I'm not a big fan of this, but I am a big fan of the characters and the cartoon itself. But this, I might seek out the ones that came before this. But as for this issue, I wasn't, I was fairly let down. So that's it. Till next time, take care.